welcome to Quizzing in America. I am Jeremy Conman. I am your host, coming to you live from Chicago, Illinois. This is going to be episode 3. And for the first time, I'm talking to two people that run a trivia company that I've not actually played their trivia before. I found them when I was researching and doing some work trying to compile a database of trivia companies, which I hope quizzinginamerica.com will be a resource for people wherever they are in North America and want to find a trivia night. And I am talking to Nick and Taylor from Soul Brain Trivia out of Washington, D.C. And welcome, guys. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And, we're going to get into it. And I'm going to ask you now, did you collaboratively found Soul Brain Trivia? Did one of you start it and the other one jump on? How long have you guys known each? I have so many questions, but, tell me about the origins of Soul Brain Trivia. When you started it, why you started it, and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and thanks for having us, Jeremy. Really excited to be on. But yeah, we can jump right into it. So Soul Brain Trivia was I founded it actually while I was in Huntsville, Alabama, a little ways away from DC, back in 2023, and really. It was just coming off of the COVID slump where there was a lot of stuff going on in the area. Really, the only thing to do around that time, really 2021, 2022 timeframe, was go to trivia nights. So I started going to trivia nights more regularly with some friends. Said, hey, this is really fun, but some of the questions just didn't seem like they really hit to, I just had no frame of reference for what the questions were. So we started thinking, how could we improve on some of the trivia nights? And Soul Brain Trivia kind of originated from getting questions within the sphere of Black cultural influence, is what we kind of call it. So having questions originate from a place where it's culturally relevant to us, and everyone kind of needs that space where they can go and feel like they have a community to ask the same questions, to answer the same questions, but still have a fun night with trivia. So that's where Soul Brain Trivia kind of started.
I think that is brilliant. And I wish more people would do that, because I think you are so dead on right. And it's beautiful when you can bring a different perspective and still get a diverse audience and ask questions that are accessible to people, but are maybe not about everything they learned and knew about growing up, right? So you don't know I've been running trivia for about 15 years. And one of the things I do now at a lot of trivia nights is I run things very improv style. I will ask people for categories and just come up with questions kind of on the spot. And I'm gonna tell a little story about how that started real quick, because I got asked to do a fundraiser for a woman whose mother had passed away from breast cancer, and she found
Oh
me
man.
because but she started a charity to raise some money, and she contacted me via email after coming out to a friend's trivia night that I had run, and so I had never spoke to the woman. She just emailed me, and I said, "Oh yeah, I could do that," and we exchanged emails. And I made some assumptions based on the fact that she had emailed me and said, I came to your friend's trivia night. I assumed she was
Uh-huh.
probably going to be a 30-something-year-old white woman, and that all the people that would come to her event would be in her general,
Right.
group,
Same
right?
wheelhouse.
Yeah, same wheelhouse. And so I came with a bunch of questions that were like kind of Friends and Gilmore Girls. Well, she was like a 45-year-old African-American woman. I went to the fundraiser. I was one of 3 white people in the entire place. And I said, I don't know what. And so I started improvising, and I asked people what they wanted to hear about. And I just kind of came up with some questions, and I learned some stuff and they learned some stuff, and we had a good time. It was a great time. But I think if I'd have gone in there with the questions I had written, I don't think it would have gone over as well. And I just think that, I think it's great when people can kind of diversify and ask questions from different areas and stuff. And so I think that's wonderful. Now, are
Yeah.
you still running any games down in Huntsville, or is everything up in DC?
Everything's up in DC now, and yeah, it's been kind of popping off recently in the past year or so. And I'll kind of pass it over to Taylor, my co-host. She's done an awesome job, just kind of making sure the crowd is engaged and making sure that all the answers and questions are enunciated perfectly so everyone can hear and everyone's engaged. So she joined. What was it now? back in March and
It's been a
April.
year. It's been a year. So you started kind of hosting January. I think I came on in March of 2024. And it's truly blown up. Like TikTok, a couple folks posted about it, and then it just got super, super popular to the point where we were doing it weekly. And I don't think we had planned to do weekly, but we were just getting so much requests from different businesses, like, "Hey, come do trivia here," and meeting folks. They're like, this would be a good spot for you all to go to. So it's been really like embraced, and I think it's a great opportunity for folks to come to something that's free and also like kind of culturally representative of them. But we keep it fresh. We do some pop culture, we do current events, we do random trivia. It's a whole host of things, and people have really loved it. So yeah, it's only been a year, which is crazy, but it's
That is fantastic. And Taylor, are you from the DC area? You're not from Alabama then, right? Or
I am not from Alabama. Well, we're both from Virginia,
okay.
but I'm
Yeah,
from
I just
North.
lived in Alabama for a few years. So
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm from Northern Virginia, so I grew up right outside of DC. So I came back here after undergrad, and I've just always loved the city. So it's great to kind of be able to give back in a different way, not necessarily service related. Of course, you do community service, but give back to like bring together community. And there's like this longing for friendship and being around people that came after COVID. So I'm glad that we can help,
And I
curate
think
that
trivia
space.
trivia is a great way to get people together and get them talking and interacting. And like I said, you
absolutely.
learn a few things, you have some fun, and you guys do a traditional pen and paper game. You're not answering on devices or anything, right?
Sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
for the
you do.
normal
Okay,
weekly games, yeah, we switch between some based on the number of folks we have in the audience. But for
okay.
the pen and paper one, weekly trivia nights, we yeah, paper pen.
Guys collaboratively write the questions, or Nick, are you more the question writer, and then Taylor, you're more like the logistics behind the thing? Do you both host? Are you both on the mic, or is that
Kind of D, all the above.
Yeah, I'm
okay?
Yeah,
I'm
so
I'm
Nick
smiling
definitely
because go ahead, go.
go ahead. No, say what you want to say.
I would just say that I'm smiling because I'll hit up Taylor at at random times throughout the day, when I probably shouldn't, while she's at work and middle of the night. Oh, this is a great question. Oh, this is this is a great current events question. So I'm trying to make sure I respect boundaries while still making sure we got the right questions for the job. So,
It,
but go ahead.
No, Nick does a great job in curating the questions, so I definitely let him lead on that front. He's always coming up with random categories that he thinks will be fun. I'm like, yeah, you know what, let's do it. And then I think I typically like to take point on the music round because I just love music so much. So I'm like, hey, I have an idea. Just let me rock out for the music round. Let me come up with those songs. And then I try to help out as much as possible, especially with current events. Just saying, oh, this would be a great current events question. Hey, I saw this on TikTok. I saw this in the news. Like this would be fun. So I help out where I can, but Nick is really the brains behind that. And then we do host some things together, but I feel like my power is definitely in the hosting capabilities, keeping the crowd entertained. So try
100%.
to play off each other's strengths in that regard.
absolutely. And I'll say this, Nick,
Yeah.
you will find like I don't know what you did before you. I mean, maybe you still do other stuff, but whatever you did before you started doing trivia, now that you're writing questions and doing this stuff, I tell you something. All the time, I'm like, oh my god, that make a great trivia question. Or you hear something and you're like, and it's great to have somebody like Taylor Asada where you can be like texting or
Yeah.
something like, ooh, then you don't forget it, or But yeah, I mean,
Right.
it totally transforms the way you digest information, right? Because it's like now you hear
Hmm.
stuff and you're like, how can I turn that into a trivia question? What can I take from that and make it interesting for other people? And it like people always ask me, how do you come up with your questions, right? And it's like it can be as simple as a conversation I had with somebody about the weather, and something comes up and all of a sudden I'm like thinking about something else. I'm like, oh, that'd make a great question. Or the other day
Exactly.
in terms of audio rounds, like I don't know if your audio rounds normally have a theme, but sometimes mine have a theme. And somebody was talking about Brandy Carlisle, and she did the Indigo Girls song "Closer to Fine" for the Barbie movie, and I was like, oh, I wonder how many like cover songs I could find that were covered for a movie soundtrack. And then that led me to looking at like, all right, here's some, other ones. Guns N' Roses did a cover of a Rolling Stone song for Interview with a Vampire, trying to find 7 or 8 songs I could put in a round like that. And it's everything all of a sudden just kind of falls together. And then you have a trivia night before you know it. So how many venues do you guys do a week now? Are you doing a lot a week, or are you doing mostly private events?
So we've done a few since it's Black History Month. Currently, we've done 3 Black History Month events. Going forward, we'll do them bi-weekly. So last year we did, like Taylor mentioned, we were kind of burning our candle a little bit, doing every week at multiple venues. So we're scaling that back a little bit, trying to make sure it's of the most benefit to not just the audience, but also the hosting venues, making sure that they're taken care of as well.
And you do like corporate events, I would assume too, right? If a company wants to hire you and bring you out, like.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Now, so tell me about your game. Like, what is the format of it? What is the, are you, we're going to ask you 3 questions and you're going to wager 1, 3, and 5. And then there's a halftime, or are you like, we're going to ask you 7 questions in a row. You're going to turn all the answers in at once and each one's worth the same number of points or something like that.
Yeah, no, we'll keep it real simple with Soul Brain Trivia. The game is in the format of a basketball or football game. So it's 4 quarters, a halftime show, and an overtime round. Each of the 4 quarters consists of 7 questions, where 7 questions worth 5 points each. If you get all of the questions right in that quarter, then you get an extra 5 points on top. So real simple. We'll do that for the first and second quarters. And then the halftime show consists of 2 rounds. One is the 1 question, 5 answer round. So it's our choice overload. We can pick any question. You just give us 5 answers. If there are 5 answers that pertain to the question, then you get it right. Each of those answers are worth 4 points. And then we go into our music round, which is our, the crowd favorite, right?
Sure.
We'll play a selection of 7 songs.
By the way, this is Smokey.
Oh, what's up, Smokey?
Yeah. She likes to jump in sometimes. All right, yeah. So the music round,
nice. We'll just do a title and artist, 2 points each, and then third and fourth quarters go the same as first and second quarters, and then the overtime round where you can wager up to 20 of your team's points. 1 question, 1 answer. The normal kind of themes throughout the night is the first round or first quarter will be our current events round, and then we'll do 2 theme rounds for the second quarter and the fourth quarter. And then the third quarter is our random trivia.
All right. I love it because it's a style that is similar to other games. I'm sure you're aware, like where you played in Alabama. I don't know if you played Challenge Entertainment or Team Trivia or something else in Alabama, but I know both of those exist out there. And they are, it's kind of, but you've taken it and you've spun it and added your own thing to it. And I love that because I can't wait to get to the halftime round because those list questions are usually where I excel. So
nice.
Now, are there types of questions that you love to write, like before and after questions or multiple choice, or are there questions that you hate that you stay away from? Like, what are some of your favorite types of questions to ask, or some of your questions that you're like, no?
Oh yeah, I'll give you one, and then Taylor, I'll pass it to you. But for my favorite types of questions, I mean, I love anything that induces nostalgia. Right. Trivia is a team game to me. Like, I want people to come in, even if you come by yourself, you can join a team and then collaborate with that team. You learn something about the people across from you that you didn't know, and then they can learn something from you. So anything that's nostalgia inducing, right? So I like questions that are like, I'll give you 3 events in history. Tell me which one happened first. Or, multiple types of touch points on a question. So you can wrap your head around multiple subjects, collaborate with your team, and then give your answer.
And what about you, Taylor?
So Taylor, what about you?
Well, anything music related always, but I think my favorite tends to be where, you have to name like one person or name one song off of something, like, so people are like really trying to think, like, name one song that was released during January. I mean, this is very specific. January 2024, that was a top 10 Billboard hit. And then people are like, oh, I think this one, maybe it's this one. And they're like debating with each other. And it gets a lot of like commotion going. And then
I'll tell you, I think
folks get it wrong. It's like a big thing.
that you just said something that is absolutely true, and I think those are so much fun. One of the rounds I did, and I don't know if it was the most fun or the most stress-inducing rounds for teams. I did a round where I gave you 3 songs from an artist. I don't know if no, actually I played snippets of 3 songs from an artist, but they were huge artists and huge songs. So it was like everybody knew what I was playing, right? Like if I was playing like Janet Jackson, I was playing like 3 major hits, but they were all different on Billboard. So what you had to do was name the one song that was the highest charting of the 3. And that I've never heard teams fight so much in my life, because I mean they were like angry with each other over like, no, this was bigger than that. But it was a lot of fun to watch them do it. And then so I think questions like that, absolutely, those are great.
Yeah, the more anarchy, the better.
Agreed. So I guess do you guys have a game that I can play, and we'll see how Soul Brain Trivia works, and we'll see what my brain comes up with.
We've got some questions for you.
We have some questions.
All right, very good. I don't know who's hosting the first round, or if you want to kick it off anyway, but I believe we are on quarter number 1 then right now.
Yeah.
Okay, Taylor, you're the host extraordinaire. I'm gonna pass it to you if you want to go ahead and do the current events.
Sounds good. Well, as we explained earlier, each round has 7 questions. Realistically, when you finish the first round or finish a round, you rip that piece of paper off, bring it to the front so we can score. Obviously, we won't be doing that. But our first quarter is always current events. So I hope you've been paying attention to a little bit of things happening.
I tend to pay attention to the news these days. I'll be honest with you. A lot of the news makes me go, oh boy. But I still pay attention. So let's see what we got.
All right. Question number 1. Starting off really simple, we have some questions about this year's Grammy Awards.
Oh, I watched those. They were a lot of fun.
All right, let's see if you get this. How many Grammy Awards did Kendrick Lamar win for his massively popular diss track, Not Like Us?
Oh, okay. So this is interesting. So you're talking just for the song, right?
Yes, it is. How many Grammy Awards did Kendrick Lamar win for his massively popular diss track, Not Like Us?
Okay, so he definitely won Rap Song of the Year, I think. Oh boy. I think he won Rap Performance too, and he won Song of the Year, Record of the Year. Oh, I want to say 4 or 5. I am going to go, you know what? He had a great night. 5 is a lot though for one song. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something that I never do. My first thought was 5, and I'm going to say 4. So, I don't know if you want to do the answers after you do all 7, and then we'll see how I did, or you want to do them one at a time. It's up to you. But I'm going to go with 4. That's my answer.
Let's do them after. Let's do them after.
Okay, let's do them after. All right. For your second Grammys question, which musical artist honored the late legend Quincy Jones by performing one of Quincy and Michael Jackson's biggest hits, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, at this year's Grammys? Again, that is which musical artist honored the late legend Quincy Jones by performing one of Quincy and Michael Jackson's biggest hits, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, at this year's Grammys?
Okay, so my first instinct was Cynthia Erivo, but I don't think she did the Michael Jackson one. I think it was Janelle Monáe that did the Michael Jackson one, and she was incredible. So I'm going with Janelle Monáe, because Cynthia Erivo did was it the Stevie Wonder? No, she did the We Are the World, I think, right? I can't. She didn't do the Michael Jackson one. Janelle Monáe.
We can't tell you.
Yeah, don't tell me. I'm locking in with Janelle.
All right, question number 3. Let's talk about the Super Bowl, or better yet, the Super Bowl pregame show. Which HBCU's Human Jukebox marching band performed in New Orleans for the Super Bowl pregame show? Again, that is which HBCU's Human Jukebox marching band performed in New Orleans for the Super Bowl pregame show?
All right, so here's a fun fact about me. You would think that I'd be a big sports fan, and I don't watch the NFL anymore, so I didn't watch the Super Bowl. But I do know a little something about HBCUs. I'm trying to think oh man, it's not Grambling. I mean, the Super Bowl was in New Orleans, and I think Southern University is in Louisiana. So I think I'm going to go with Southern. Yeah, we'll go with Southern. I probably should just know it from Human Jukebox, to be honest with you, and I don't.
All right, question number 4. Released last December, Netflix film The 6888 featured the true story of the all-female, all-black 6888th Battalion during World War II. Played by Kerry Washington in the film, what was the name of the leader of 888 who posthumously became the first Black woman to have an army base named after her?
I watched the movie. I enjoyed the movie. I was an amazing story. I was so glad they made it, and I do not remember the name of the character. Oh, I'll tell you something though. This is a great question because it's something like I know it's in my head, and I'm never ever gonna get there. Oh God! I mean,
What was the name of the?
what was the name of Kerry Washington's character?
Who was
I
she
don't.
portraying?
I remember.
You can thank Taylor for this question.
Yeah, I mean, it's my own. I watched it. It was like 3 months ago when I watched it, or 2 months ago. I remember a character named Dolores, so I'm going to say Dolores, but that's another one of that's not Kerry Washington's character. I'm so wrong on that. So, oh well.
Question number 5. What is the name of the unofficial online university that began with a viral welcome video from Dr. Leah Barlow and her Intro to African American Studies course at North Carolina A&T? Again, that is, what is the name of the unofficial online university that began with a viral welcome video from Dr. Leah Barlow and her Intro to African American Studies course at North Carolina A&T?
This is one of those that I think I have no clue. So I'm just going to say, let's see, what would be, I don't know what would be a good name for that. I'd try and come up with something funny or something clever, and I can't think of either right now. Well, we know I'm not getting the 5-point bonus, and I'm just saying we're just gonna call it You Ought to Know University. You Ought to Know You, because I think I ought to know.
I just pause here real quick,
Yeah,
and just say thank you so much for putting down a funny or fun answer. That's my favorite thing when a team doesn't know it and they put down something that's just either entertaining, makes me laugh. I'm inclined to give them half credit. I'm inclined.
Might as well, yeah, exactly. You never know, and sometimes you take a wild stab in the dark and you hit, right? Yeah, I mean, once in a blue moon, not often, but yeah.
Got it right down.
All right, number 6. Which Amazon Prime Video comedy series created by Tracy Oliver recently finished its 3rd and final season, with its last episode having released on February 6th of this year?
Okay. Is that just Harlem? I think there's a series called Harlem. I haven't watched it. I'm going to go with Harlem. I don't know if that's right or not.
All right. Question number 7. Set to release in theaters this spring, what is the title of the Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan new supernatural horror film?
Well, I should know that. Michael B. Jordan's new movie. Oh, wait. I do know that. It's Sinners. Yeah. That's the new Michael B. Jordan film. All right. Now I think I got at least 2 right. Maybe 3. Maybe 4. Definitely not more than that.
I think you got about...
You might surprise yourself.
About 4 of them right. You did pretty good though. So question number 1, how many Grammys did Kendrick win for Not Like Us? It was 5. You should have
kept 5. This is the rule. Don't go away from your first instinct unless you have a reason. And I didn't have a reason, and I did it.
No reason. Other than it wasn't a crazy amount of awards to win for one song.
Yeah.
But, we are not the Academy, so.
Yep, fair enough.
For question number 2, it was, in fact, Janelle Monáe that did the tribute to Quincy Jones at this year's.
That was an amazing tribute, by the way. And Janelle was, I mean, I don't know who was better between Cynthia Erivo or Janelle Monáe. They were both fantastic.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
For question number 3, the Human Jukebox Marching Band is in fact Southern University.
Yes. All right.
That you were like, I should know them by their name. I'm like, yes, that is Southern University's name.
like I know I've heard the Human Jukebox referred to. Like I know I've heard that, but I wasn't getting it that way. Southern is in Louisiana, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I thought Southern University was in Louisiana. I guess I'm not 100% positive on that, but that's where I would have guessed they were.
That was in the state.
Yes, in Baton Rouge.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
All right. Kerry Washington played Lieutenant Colonel Charity Adams.
I should have remembered that. Dolores was one of the other women, right?
Yes, Dolores was one of the other women. I was like, okay, we should remember that.
All right.
And fun fact, if you didn't know, she was the first Black woman to have a army base named after her, that being in Virginia. So she
Ah.
is the Fort Greg Adams. And it's like in Southern Virginia.
When do you know when they named that after her? Was it recently or was it?
It was more recently, like within the 2000s.
Okay. That would, by the way, that was an amazing story. And I loved at the end when they showed the women that were still alive. Like, I mean, like if you haven't seen that movie, you should see the movie. And it got Diane Warren her yearly Oscar nomination for Best Original Song, which at this point they should just give her one and stop nominating her every year. But, yeah.
Let's hope. For question number 5, this one was definitely a very, if you're online, you knew it. The unofficial online university that began is called Hillman Talk. Hillman Talk. Hillman.
Oh, that is totally. I mean, if you'd have thrown a Cosby Show reference in there, I might have gotten there. I don't know if I would have gotten Hillman, but I loved A Different World and the Cosby Show were two of my favorite shows growing up. So, yeah,
it is something that's very popular right now. There's a lot of people taking like online TikTok courses because it's just blown up. So check that out when you get a chance.
I'm not only going to check it out, I'm going to turn that into a trivia question that I'm going to ask somewhere very soon because I like that. That's a fun fact. All right.
Question number 6. The Amazon Prime Video comedy series created by Tracy Oliver, that was Harlem.
Yes. I haven't watched it yet, but I've been on Amazon Prime enough recently that it has popped up.
Yeah. Hey, I'm like, kudos to you for recognizing it. If I hadn't watched it, I probably would not have recognized it just by the producer. And then the last question, the supernatural film by Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, that is Sinners.
All right. So I got 4.
That's
I could have had 5. All right. That's all right.
Pretty solid.
I'll live with my 20 points.
That's pretty on par.
All right.
So the next round might be
I would agree so.
A little tough.
All right.
Yeah, and we didn't do any research beforehand on your skills, your strengths and weaknesses, but this one is DC Sports Legends.
DC Sports. So here's the thing. I love sports. I know a lot of sports. I stopped watching the NFL about 10 years ago. So I just don't watch the NFL. Okay. So as long as you're not asking about like the last 10 years of the NFL, sports is usually a pretty strong suit for me.
All right, then I think you'll do pretty well.
Okay.
All right.
Also, but it
the tables might have turned.
DC sports specific.
That's fine. Michael Jordan, he finished his career in DC.
He's not on the list.
This is true.
Fair enough.
All right, I can kick us off.
Let's
DC Sports Legend, our first themed trivia round. Our first question, NBA superstar and DC native Kevin Durant won back-to-back NBA championships with which NBA team?
Kevin Durant was on 2 of the Warriors Warriors. Let's go with that. All right. Number 2.
All right. Number 2, in 2004, DC United drafted which 14-year-old soccer phenom, making him the youngest player to sign a professional contract in U.S. sports history?
Freddie Adu.
At the time.
Yeah, Freddie Adu.
All right. Number 3. The number 21 was retired by the Washington Commanders in 2021 in remembrance of former Pro Bowler Sean Taylor. Before his death, Sean Taylor played which defensive position for the Washington Redskins?
Ooh. This is like, I remember his death. I remember him. Was he a defensive end? Was he a linebacker? Was he a safety? No, he was a backfield. He was safety or cornerback. I think he was a safety. I'm going to go with safety. Let's go with safety.
All right, the answer is in. Okay.
Yep.
Number 4, appearing in many episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, DC Hall of Famer boxer Sugar Ray Leonard is actually the godfather of which Kardashian?
Oh, that's a fun trivia fact that I need to remember. I figure I got a 1 in 3 chance of getting this right. I don't think it's Kim, so I'm going to eliminate her, which means it's Khloe or Courtney. And I'm going to go Khloe just for, I have no other reason than it's a 50-50 and I got to take a guess. So yeah, there you go.
Right. Cool. Okay. Question number 5. Before he was the star center for the New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing led which DC college to an NCAA basketball championship?
Georgetown Hoyas, who he later went back and coached. All right.
Okay, let's see if you got this one. Number 6, Name any player on the roster for the Washington Mystics 2019 championship season.
Elena Della Don. Elena Della, I think that's, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but Elena Della Don. By the way, I'm actually a huge WNBA fan. So that one was like the cakewalk question.
Back to the W.
Absolutely. We got Shy Barbie, used to be Bayou Barbie up here with the Chicago Sky. And I went up, and actually, I'll tell you, I love the women's game, college pro. I watch more women's basketball than I do men's. Juju Watkins, USC, she is legit going to be a superstar. She's going to make people forget who Caitlin Clark is. So,
it should be a good March Madness for sure.
Yes, absolutely. I got $50 on USC to win the whole thing, so I'm really pulling for.
Wow. Juju. Okay. Not worried about UCLA at all, huh?
Oh, I'm worried about him. Trust me, but I put my faith in Juju Watkins. I believe she can do it.
I believe it. My money's on NC State. I got to go for the home team.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right,
Last one for this round.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. There's one more. All right. Very good.
One more. How many Super Bowl championships have the Washington Commanders or any of its previous have won?
They have won 3, all with Joe Gibbs, all with different quarterbacks. There you go.
No one can tell you do not know your stuff on DC Sports.
You know sports.
Like I said, sports is probably my strongest area of trivia just in general. It's just the last decade of that's why, like, the Sean Taylor question was by far the hardest question in that round for me, because I legit stopped watching the NFL. And then, of course, the Kardashian one, I mean, it's Khloe or Courtney. I'm almost positive it's not Kim. So it's just a matter of, did I choose the right one?
Fair enough. All right, let's see how you did. Question number 1, the NBA superstar Kevin Durant won back-to-back championships with the Golden State Warriors, of course. Number 2, DC United drafted Freddie Adu as the youngest soccer player at the time. Number 3, which was the Sean Taylor question, Sean Taylor played safety, and we also accepted a corner or defensive back, but safety was the one we were looking for. And the next question, number 4, appearing in many episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, DC Hall of Fame boxer Sugar Ray Leonard is the godfather of Khloe Kardashian.
All right. I got lucky there.
Number 5, Patrick Ewing played for Georgetown, of course, the Georgetown Hoyas, and led them to an NCAA basketball championship. And then for the DC Sports Legends, name any player on the roster of the Mystics 2019 championship season. You gave us Elena Della Don, and that would be correct. I've got 11 others on this list, but I won't go down the list. But you got that one right. And then lastly, number 7, the Commanders or Redskins or any of their names, they have won 3 championships. So clean sweep.
Get my 5-point bonus there. By the way, I like that 5-point bonus roll. And also, can I just say, that's a great sports round, because sports can be a hard subject, I'm sure you're aware, for a lot of people. But like your NBA one, you're like, what team did he win back-to-back? So, I mean, it's not like you're asking an impossible question, right? And then there were a couple in there that, okay, you got to know Freddie Adu. You got to know somebody on the Mystics roster. So you got to have some sports knowledge. But there were accessible questions in there, even if you're not a sports fan. So good job on that round all the way around. Now we're at the halftime.
All right. Halftime show. So, of course, we have the 2-parter. So the first one that we'll actually be doing is our choice overload round. So we ask one question and you give us 5 answers. All right.
Okay.
So it does happen to be music related, but we often, switch it up.
Sure.
We've done like top 5 Ben and Jerry flavors and, biggest country. Like we
Sure. Yeah.
This one is music related. So, not including GNX, name 5 Kendrick Lamar albums, which can include studio, compilation, and soundtrack albums.
Okay. So we will start out with Humble, because that's the one that I know the best. No, Humble's the song. Damn is the album. Damn. Yeah. He's got something about, oh boy, is it? I don't know if it's To Pimp a Butterfly or Pimp a Butterfly, but it's one of the two. I'm gonna say Pimp a Butterfly, and maybe you'll be generous and give it to me if I left off the two. We'll see. And then, to be honest with you, I don't know if I can name any others, so I'm just gonna go with a self-titled Kendrick Lamar. We'll see if he has one of those. And then we'll go with Drake Sucks, because, I
Give me a
mean,
soundtrack. Give me a soundtrack.
oh, did he do a soundtrack for? What would he have done a soundtrack for? I don't know if he did.
I want to go back to this Drake Sucks thread. I think you guys.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, I mean that, like, wow, like that is Kendrick Lamar is just kind of a genius when it comes to trolling, and I mean, he's a genius when it comes to a lot of things. But hats off to him. Let's see. So we got self-titled Drake Sucks, and we'll go with. Man. I don't know. We'll go with For My Mother. We'll see if he wrote one for his mom. There you go. I
love that.
Good guesses. I think you got two out of 5 correct. So you could have said Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City.
Ooh, I've heard of that one. I should have known that.
Damn. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. The compilation that he wrote was Untitled Mastered from 2016. And then the soundtrack, he did the Black Panther soundtrack.
Oh,
okay, all the stars. I was like, if you watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a bad miss. That's just to quote a Kendrick Lamar album, damn, that's a bad miss. Like, I mean, yeah, I should have had that. And you even said you could say a soundtrack.
I was trying to give you the hint, and you're like, what soundtrack? I'm like,
yeah, like the biggest movie of the last 10 years, almost. I mean, yeah, $1 billion film, Best Picture nominee. Yeah, no, I should have had that. That's all on me. So those are 2 points each or 5 points each?
Those are 4 points each.
4 points each. Okay, so I got 8 points. So I'm at 68 by my my scoring. Okay. I'll live with it. So normally you do your audio round. We're not going to do that here. How many songs are in the audio round?
7. So we put about 30 seconds of a specific, topic area. So as you kind of said, it has a category. So like we'll do like cookout classics or songs produced by Metro Boomin. Like it varies every single week. And we like to make it fun as possible because everybody loves the music round.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a track that plays 30 seconds and you write the song title as well as the artist. You give it your best guess and people tend to get, I would say, at least 10.
Sure.
10 out of 14 right.
What just out of curiosity, what was the theme for this game? What was the theme of the audio round?
We kind of compiled a few different
okay.
Ones, but compiled from a couple different games.
What would be your if you had to do one right now, what would be if it was Cookout Classics? I might have come up a little short, but
Well, last week we did HBCU hitters, so that one was songs from folks that attended HBCU because we did, we had a partnership with a group that they specifically target kind of alumni from different HBCUs. So that one was a fun one where we had songs.
You might have had a Lionel Richie song. Okay.
Yeah.
Was there a Lionel Richie one in there? I know he's.
I did suggest the Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie didn't make the final cut though.
All right, fair enough. I'm old, so I couldn't recognize the Lionel Richie song. But all right, well, we'll pretend I'm going to be generous and say I got 6 points in the audio round. Which, by the way, audio rounds are like my Achilles heel. So 6 points is being generous. I'm just going to give myself 6 points, though. And we'll move on to quarter 3.
All right, Tilly, you want to go ahead and tackle that one?
Yeah, I got it. So quarter 3 is always random trivia, and I will tell you the category before reading the question.
All right.
So this one is related to U.S. states.
Ooh, I love that. Okay.
Carson City is the capital of which U.S. state?
Well, I have been to all 50 state capitals, and that's the one in Nevada. So,
question number 2. What is the most commonly used letter in the English language?
It would be the letter E.
All right. Question number 3. This is related to sports. Which 2 women's college basketball teams are number 1 and number 2 for the most NCAA championships in history?
I believe that would be UConn is now number 1, and I believe Tennessee is still number 2.
All right. Question number 4 is related to TV. A mass group known as the Jabberwockies gained a level of fame after winning the first season of which competitive MTV show?
Oh, I remember the dance. I remember Shaq being out there at the All-Star game with them. It was Randy Jackson's Best Dance Crew, maybe. I'm going to go with Randy Jackson's Best Dance Crew. Maybe America's Best Dance Crew presented, but I'm going to go with Randy Jackson's Best Dance Crew.
All right. Question number 5 is related to food. Nigeria is a leading global producer of which common kitchen spice known for its many health benefits and is in the same plant family as turmeric?
This seems like something I should know, and yet I do not. And I'm not very good with cooking.
You and me both.
Yeah, oh man, cayenne pepper. That's not right. But, I got to put an answer down. We'll take a shot with that. What's that?
I was just reiterating same plant family as turmeric.
Yeah, I should probably know. Oh, maybe is that ginger? That's not ginger. All right, we'll say ginger instead, just in case, but I don't think that's right. I'm going to be mad at myself over that one.
All right, question number 6 is related to music. What's the title of Glorilla's 2024 mixtape featuring the singles Yeah Glow and Wannabe featuring Megan Thee Stallion?
Oh boy. Yeah, this is not my strong suit here, so I'll just call it Glorious because Glorilla, Glorious. Let's go with that.
And question number 7 is related to celebrities. Which comedian on the 85 South comedy show grew up in Washington, D.C. and has also been a Wild 'N Out cast member for over 10 seasons?
Okay.
85 South and Wild 'N Out DC native.
Trying to think. There's somebody like, what does it go? Young? No, not yet. There's a guy on there, I think, named Miller. So we'll just go with Miller. I don't think that's going to be right, but that's my answer. Miller.
All right. Answers from that. Kudos to you for already being gone to all 50 of the capitals. Wow. That's definitely a feat. Carson City is the name of Nevada's capital. Question number 2. The most common English letter in the English language is the E. How did you know that? I would have guessed R.
Well, so not only am I, so I'm a trivia nerd. I also play competitive Scrabble. And
that's awesome.
I played in like the National Scrabble Championships. And so Scrabble, the E is the most common letter because it's the most common letter in the alphabet. There's 12 E's in a game of Scrabble, which is the most of any. Just one of those things you pick up over the years. But yeah, I'm not just a trivia nerd. I'm a word nerd too.
Words.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm fascinated because I'm a nerd too, and I'm just like, that is amazing. My jaw is on the floor the whole time.
Yeah. Question number 3. UConn is number 1 with 11 championships, and Tennessee is sitting at number 2 with 8.
Okay.
So you're just killing it.
Well, again, sports, and again, women's basketball happens to be one of my favorite sports. So, that was a wheelhouse for me. But it's going to take us.
The Jabberwockies gained their fame on America's Best Dance Crew.
All right. That was close.
But
yeah,
I think you were right there. Yes, yeah. Randy was there. Randy Jackson,
it was his show, right? Like he created it, I think.
Yeah.
And I watched the first season. I mean, the Jabberwockies were amazing. I remember them when they were on the show.
Oh yeah.
ABDC. We would at least give you half points for that.
All right.
For sure.
Question number 5. The spice with many health benefits, and that is in the same family as turmeric, is ginger.
Oh, well, look at that. All right. I surprised myself.
You're like, it can't be ginger. I'm like, I know it is. So.
All right. Fair enough.
Question number 6. I think you had a really good guess, but Glorilla's mixtape from 2024 is Etang Etang.
Yeah, no, I wasn't getting that, but
But she does have a project named Glorious, so.
I mean, that makes sense given the name.
So you kind of on par with that one. And then finally.
Is it Anything? The name of it?
Oh, is that how?
You said Etang.
Yeah.
Anything.
Listen, I don't listen to Glorilla. Now y'all know.
Shout out to Glow, man. Shout out to Glow.
I would not have gotten that question right. And then finally, from Wild 'N Out and 85 South, the answer is Chico Bean.
Oh, I've heard of him too. There is somebody named Miller on 85 South, right?
I do not watch it.
Carlos Miller. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, Carlos.
That's
who I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yep. See, most
All
people put
right.
Young DC Fly on that because he has DC in his name.
I was trying to remember. I knew there was a young someone. I've only seen that. Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
all righty. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So all right. Well, we'll give myself 22 or something there. Where I'm putting myself at 96. I don't know. We got quarter four coming.
Okay, you'd be in the mix. You would definitely be
You
in
would
the
definitely
mix for
be
the
in the
top.
mix.
All right, I'll go ahead and do the last quarter before the overtime round or overtime question. So last quarter for this theme, we'll do at the point where we made this one. It was tax season. It's coming up on tax season now. So the theme here is dot the I's and cross the T's. So all
Okay.
the answers will have words with consecutive I's and or consecutive T's in the
Okay.
answer.
I like that.
All right. So dot the I's across the T's. Which Cowboy Carter track begins with the spoken words? Genres are a funny little concept, aren't they? Yes, they are. One more
All right.
time. Which Cowboy Carter track begins with the spoken words? Genres are a funny little concept, aren't they? Yes, they are.
All right. So she's got a cover of the Beatles' Blackbird on there. She's got Texas Hold'em on there. She do a cover of Jolene too, but none of those have double I's or double T's. Oh, Spaghetti. There was a song called Spaghetti. Spaghetti. That has both double T and double I. Let's go with Spaghetti. All right.
All right. Question number 2. What 5-letter word is plural for the third longest bone in your arm?
That'd be your radius or radii. So Radii.
Oh, question number 3. What is the first and last name of the actress who played Letitia or Letty Wright in the horror drama HBO series Lovecraft Country?
Thandie Newton was in Lovecraft Country, I think, but that doesn't fit the theme. Who else was in? Oh, what's his name? Sister. Well, Smollett. Journey, right?
The first
It's
and last name.
Journey, I think, is her first name. Jour. No, is it Ju? Journey Smollett. I'm not going to spell it right, but yeah.
We'll be lenient with the spelling.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, number 4. What was the Roman numeral associated with the 2024 Super Bowl?
All right. So again, recent. So I didn't watch it, but I'm from Chicago. 1986 Super Bowl 20 was the Bears, and they've had one every year. So let me just do some math here. 1986 and 14 gets me to 2000, and 24 gets me to 38, which means we are looking for Super Bowl 58, which means that is LVIII. There we go. All righty.
I love this, man. This is so much fun.
This
Number 5. Are you experiencing a sharp pain in your heel? This double-eyed health condition could be the cause.
That's not a sciatica, right? No, that's what is that? Plantar fasciitis? Is that what that's called? Oh, I didn't know how to spell that. But that might have a double I in it. I know Albert Pujols had it when he was with the Cardinals. I'm going to go with plantar fasciitis, and I'm going to put 2 I's in my spelling of fasciitis or 2 T's. I have no idea if that's right or not, but I think that's kind of what that might be. Yeah. All right.
All right. Number 6. In which reality TV show did child and family therapist Charity Lawson solidify her love for show winner Don Olubuko by handing him the final rose?
I would assume
Which
that's got to
reality TV show was that?
I assume that's got to be The Bachelorette. Yeah. So we'll go with The Bachelorette because that has a double T in it.
Cool. All right. And lastly, originally written and recorded in 1955 by rock and roll legend Little Richard, what's the name of the song that begins with the often imitated scat? Oh, wop, babaloo bop, oh, wop, bam, boom.
Bamboo. Tutti Frutti. Tutti Frutti. That's a good tune. I like it. All righty.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and run down these answers. So number 1, the Cowboy Carter track that begins with the spoken words. Genres are a funny little concept, aren't they? That would be spaghetti. Got that one, spaghetti. Number 2, what was the 5-letter word that's plural for the third longest bone in your arm? That is the radii or radii. And number 3, the first and last name of the actress who played Letitia Wright in Lovecraft Country was Journey Smollett.
Yes.
And number 4, this is amazing how you got to this answer. The Roman numeral associated with the 2024 Super Bowl was, in fact, 58 or LVIII. I.
Thank you, Bears.
Number.
I don't know how you did that math, and I had to take off my glasses. I was so in shock.
That I mean, when I was younger, I loved the NFL, and I loved it. My birthday is January 25th. So before the Super Bowl started being in February, once every 7-8 years, the Super Bowl was on my birthday, and those are always the best birthdays for me. But that hasn't happened in a long time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. All right, number 5. If you're experiencing a sharp pain in your heel, the double-eyed health condition that could be the cause is plantar fasciitis.
Yes. Thank you, Albert Pujols, for getting whatever that is. Also, by the way, how do you spell fasciitis?
So it's how I have it. It's FASCIITIS.
I would never,
So
ever get that right.
But you got it right this time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got the answer right. I would never have spelled it right, but I would have put 2 I's in there because, yeah.
Fair enough. All right, number 6, you got this reality TV show right. That was The Bachelorette. And number 7, of course, the rock and roll legend Little Richard named the song Tutti Frutti. So
all right.
The theme really helped you out there, but
yes,
I think you
absolutely. Yeah, without the theme, I would not have gotten Journey Smollett. I would not have said spaghetti because I would have just guessed a different song because I don't know the songs well enough, and I would certainly not have guessed that, and I would never have gotten plantar fasciitis. So, that's 3 of them I got solely because of the theme. But well, I'll take my points where I can get them. I'm throwing another 40 on the score. I'm putting myself at 136 going into overtime.
All right, going into overtime, how many points would you like to wager on this last question? Before you enter your wager, we'll tell you the theme is going to be HBCUs.
Well, I have a limited knowledge of HBCUs, but I'm still going to go with the full all-in because, it's for fun. I'm not playing against anybody, and why not?
Great answer. Taylor, did you want to end us off here?
Yeah, and lucky for you, it is multiple choice, so you do have an increased chance to get this right.
That's good.
All right, final question. Which of these HBCUs was named after an African-American man or woman? Was it A, Coppin State, B, Howard University, C, Voorhees University, or D, Spelman University?
Okay, so Spelman, Moorhead, Howard, and what was the other one?
It is Coppin State,
okay.
Howard, Voorhees, or Spelman.
Why couldn't you give me Bethune-Cookman in there?
Too easy.
Yeah, I'm eliminating Coppin State. I'm also going to eliminate Howard because I think that was named for a white dude who gave money. I think. I'm not sure. But which means, I'm going to go with Spelman just because why not? I lived in Atlanta for a few years. I'm going to go with Spelman.
In fact, it is Coppin State.
No!
Right.
That was like the first one I said, no, it's not going to be Coppin.
No, it is named
after what led you to just
Jackson
cross it out first?
I thought it just sounded the least like a name. I was like, who's named Coppin? I've never heard of anybody named Coppin. That's not going to be right. But, no, you know what? Probably the reason I should have gone with it. Oh, well. Well, I still finished over 100. I'll take solace in that, and maybe depending on where the score is, where I might not have gone all in. But, if we were playing in a real, that was a lot of fun, though. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for doing that. And again, I hope that I get to come out to DC and play a live game. Certainly the next time I'm out that
Absolutely.
way, which hopefully will be sometime this year, I'll get to do that. And I hope that I see you guys. There's a whole world. Is there anything you want to say before we close it up? By the way, I should let you know if you got any final words or anything like that.
Oh, well, I'll just say real quick, again, thank you for having us on and reaching out. This is a lot of fun. And then, just the fact that we predominantly have our questions coming from Black culture, you're a proven testament that, anybody can still play and have a great time. It's one of those things where just like a chef, who cooks a specific cuisine, they want everyone to try it. And
absolutely,
as long as everyone comes away with a great time and enjoys that community, then we would love to have you. So any archetype of person, you're more than welcome to come and engage with Soul Brain Trivia.
And that was a great mix of questions. There were questions from all over the spectrum right there.